Guys, welcome back. We're still rolling with Thanksgiving recipes. Today though, we're switching it up. We're going to dessert. We're making pumpkin ice cream. Let's get cooking.
I'm a private chef, cook for money, yeah.
All right guys, ice cream. Now, am I gonna lie to you and say this is the easiest thing in the world to make? No, you need some equipment, all right? So I have an ice cream machine. I have the Ninja Creamy. This is not an ad, not a sponsor. That's like the Paco Jet technology, which is restaurant, $5,000. They made it, their patent expired, and now they made one for like $250. Or you can get a traditional ice cream maker and churn it. This recipe works for either one. It's a fun thing to do. It's a cool thing. If you want to elevate your Thanksgiving, you want to really impress people, be like, yeah, I made my own ice cream. I made my own goddamn ice cream, pumpkin flavor. Guys, I made a lot of ice creams this summer. That was like became my job when I was in France, was making a lot of ice creams. I never knew how to make ice cream before. I f***ed it up the one time I tried on Chopped. Did not go well.
Donny, you've been chopped. Judges?
Donny, this was a tremendous competition. You guys brought a level of cooking here today that we see from professional chefs.
But now, I think I got it down. So, I have a mix of brown sugar and castor sugar, regular white sugar, and there's a little bit of xanthan gum in here. Now that's optional. You don't need xanthan gum. It's gonna help with the texture a little bit. And if you're not gonna make this, it's still fun to watch. You can see how the process of ice cream is made. It's really not that hard. You gotta get the temperatures right though. There are some things that you can mess up along the way, so I'm gonna walk you guys through it. Make it as easy as possible. Here I'm just breaking up all that brown sugar. That's gonna go in a bigger bowl. Why? Because we're gonna mix it with egg yolks, and the bigger the bowl, the easier it is, the faster it goes to get those nice into a pale yellow. This is gonna be a cream-based ice cream, so we have heavy cream and whole milk. It's about 340 grams of heavy cream, which is it's like a cup and a half, and then a cup of milk. So more cream than milk. That's going over there. We're gonna infuse this with about a cup of that pumpkin puree. This is where we're gonna get our nice color and we're gonna get our pumpkin flavor from. That looks like about a cup. It's fine, we're eyeballing it. This gets whisked together. I'm going to add a little bit of pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice. That's just nutmeg, cinnamon, a little bit of maple in there. It's a good generic pumpkin flavor. If you can't find it, just use a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg. I'm gonna throw a stick of cinnamon in too. This is just gonna infuse. We're gonna take this out and then a splash of vanilla extract. And you know what? We're gonna strain these out, but I have some roasted squash. This is completely optional. I just don't want these to go to waste. I have some roasted squash here. That's gonna help infuse more. So it's not pumpkin, but it's the same family, similar flavor. So that's gonna infuse in there. And we're gonna bring this up to the boil on the heat now. So to our sugar mixture, we're gonna add 4 large egg yolks. That missed the sink. And now you wanna beat these all together until it's a pale yellow. Okay, so our cream and milk has come up to a boil and we're gonna strain it. Perfect. That's gonna go over the eggs. Do a little bit at a time just in case it's a little warm. It's not gonna scramble them. You wanna temper it lightly. Now we can go in with it all. Give this a good mix. Now this is gonna go back on the heat. We're gonna heat it. This is where it can get tricky. You have to go exactly to 82 degrees Celsius. I think it's like 175, between 175 and 180 Fahrenheit. But if you go too high, your eggs are gonna scramble, your ice cream's gonna be so you gotta just watch it because it goes quick. Once it starts to get up there, you gotta pull it right away. And now we'll go back into our pot. Clean your pot out too. We're gonna go back on the heat and we're gonna get this slowly up to temperature. This reached 82 degrees. We'll pull this off the heat. And a good way to tell if like you're not sure, you wanna test it to make sure the egg's cooked, you put it on the back of a spoon and you can draw a line through it and that stick, there you go. You have your custard. If you're using a traditional ice cream maker, one that spins and churns, this can go right in there and you can start making ice cream. I'm using the Paco Jet version. This goes into our containers. It's gonna freeze overnight and we'll blend it up. To go with this pumpkin ice cream, we're gonna make a quick pumpkin brittle. Super easy, so you can start with half a stick of butter. We're going on the heat. Once that butter is melted, we're gonna go in with half a cup of brown sugar and about a 1/4 cup of honey. Very important whenever you're making a caramel, any kind of brittle like this, you don't wanna get in there and stir with a whisk. That's gonna f up. Just shake the pan, stir like this. All right, boom, we're at 260. Now we're gonna go in, these are toasted pumpkin seeds. Make sure you toast them in the oven first. Stir those in. Now we're up to 300. This can come off. It's gonna go right onto this tray to cool. All right, now that's gonna set up and there's your brittle. We'll see you back when your ice cream's done. All right guys, our ice cream is set up. I just blended it up and now it's become nice and smooth. It's ready to plate. I made some snickerdoodle cookies and usually snickerdoodle you roll in cinnamon sugar and then you bake. This I rolled in some cinnamon sugar and then we added some more of that pumpkin spice. So you really just get pumpkin all the way through on this dish. I'm gonna pick a bigger one. I did some experimenting on this too. As you can see, this is what happens if you use a hotter oven. It's gonna cook quicker and be a little bit fatter. chewy on the inside. And if you want a thin cookie, use a colder oven. It spreads out more and you get like a thinner, crispy cookie. And then we have, remember, our pumpkin brittle. That's set up nicely too. And just make sure, guys, when you're making the brittle, don't be scared. You need a thermometer because this has to get to 300 degrees. If it doesn't get to 300, not hot enough, then it's not going to be brittly. It's not going to break. It's going to be kind of chewy caramel in your mouth. Now we're going to get that perfect ice cream shape. It's called a canal. I learned it for the first time in France. I was terrible to begin with. It just takes practice. It helps if your spoon is hot. Dip it in the hot water, and you're going to go in, push up, pull back. That's going to go right on top. Beautiful. A little bit of chocolate on top. A little microplane of shaved dark chocolate, because why not? And we'll finish with just a little piece of that brittle. Boom. And there you guys go. A pumpkin ice cream on a snickerdoodle, a pumpkin spice cookie, and a pumpkin brittle. That's a lot of pumpkin. It's Thanksgiving, guys. We'll see you next time. I'm Chef Donny. Peace.
I'm a private chef, cook for money, yeah.